Okay, we hit record. We're starting right at 9:30. We've got a busy month. I'm excited. So I wanted to just keep it kind of small because I know sometimes we share things and it gets like overused. So I just wanted to get this out to you guys um, and just really let Liz and Eileen share what they did. And here's what I saw. A fire was lit under these girls the last couple months, especially last month. And I don't know what Eileen did. Liz, well, I know what they did, but it was like they probably over doubled their volume in 30 days. And so you guys know that we've talked so much about host to post the last few weeks, couple months, and people are starting to catch it. So I'm like, we're going to keep talking about it. This is what's working. It's not just the top leaders that are having success with it. It's everybody across the board that really decides to get to work. And I want them, I'll introduce them here in a second, but I want them to talk to you like they are your best friend and they love you and they believe in you and it's time to get to work. I said, be drill sergeant. So Liz is in the Navy, so I hope she brings a little bit of that out. I think Eileen might have a little bit more of that sometimes in her, but I'm excited. For those of you that don't know, I should have said this first. I'm Stefani Dunn and been with the company for 11 years. Started back when the economy was terrible, housing market was bad. I was going through bankruptcy. Life was just really tough, and I found this company. Wanted to maybe make $1,000. That seemed really far off. And what I quickly learned is something about fast starts and making cash, and then that monthly income. And I could create my own paycheck with my work ethic. And I got to work because I couldn't find a job. And I feel like it's almost like a flashback of where I started 11 years ago. And so I love this. People are watching, people are looking, people are buying. So we just need to be the loud ones about it and ask and treat this like a business. Don't let your feelings get involved. And I'm really talking to a lot of people about that, guys, is, just do these things that they share and it will work. And I'm seeing that. I'm getting texts like, oh my gosh, I see Katrina's on. I just got 2 loyal customers yesterday. So it's working. It's not like I'm just saying this. So we're going to really listen in. I have my notebook because I'm ready to take notes because, it could just be a couple word difference that we just write down that we take from it and that we have success from it. So what I'm excited about is we're constantly learning and growing. And I've had success throughout so many different phases of this, but I love to bring on and show you guys, stories and hear of people that are out there making it happen. And Eileen has been with us for a few years, a double diamond in the company, and then Liz is a diamond, and they're on their way to double and triple. Like they're going for it. I'm rooting Eileen on. I believe Liz will go double, Eileen will go triple. I just see this camaraderie that they have built together, and they're just bringing their whole team with. And we're going to get trained on that tonight for you guys to do that. So I'm just going to really have you guys jump in. So Eileen, if you want to start it off and then just kind of introduce yourself, give a 30-second, just quick little blurb because we want to get down to business.
Okay, so I'm Eileen Gonzalez. I'm from Bakersfield, California. I'm a double diamond. Like Stephanie said, I've been with It Works for 2 years now. I joined because I had been working since I was 16. I was working 2 to 3 jobs ever since then. I decided I wanted to be home with my kids. I have 3 kids. I have a deaf son and I have 2 older kids. So I wanted to be home. I was missing out so much already. And I felt like this was it. So in January of 2020, I retired from the real estate market after 15 years. So I'm officially a stay-at-home mom with my kids, making a double diamond check. What else?
So I want them to know this, kind of like your mindset. So business is not always like this, guys. So we're going to see things that you can really take off and work and then think, I'm going to take a break and it's just going to keep going. But we always, if our mouth is closed, our business is closed. And I kind of notice people get comfortable sometimes, and that's okay. Not okay all the time, but it's okay if you recognize that and go, you know what, it's my time to get back to it. And I know how to bring in the customers and distributors. And what I saw happen with Eileen and Lizzie is they had a choice. They could either be okay with where they were at or make a decision to help other people and grow their income again. And so I want them to be, you guys to know that yes, they've lost rank. Some of us will do that, but they're going beyond. And Eileen, I got a text from you, and this is what just inspired me so much, is you're like, my volume is higher than it's ever been. Yeah. And it was like, what happened? But there's more of a fire. So it can happen. You don't need to go, am I a one-hit wonder? Am I done now? You know, did I have some success? Am I not going to have success? Or can I do this again? So Eileen, where was that switch for you? And Lizzie, I'm really going to ask you these questions too, because I know for you, but.
So I lost my rank actually last year as a double diamond, roughly in, I want to say July. And I was still working full-time as a property manager then. And I think I was at my wit's end with my work as a property manager. My bosses were jerks. I was crying every day. Like, I hated it. Like, just thinking about it just like makes me so emotional because I hated it. And January 1st, I said, I'm done. I'm done. I'm quitting my job right now. Because if I continue to stay here at my job, I'm closing my door on so many blessings that could happen down the future. And I told myself, okay, I'm quitting. I sent my letter. I quit my job. And I said, I'm going all in. I'm going all in, and I'm going to do it. But even coming as all in, I had to restructure myself. I had to change the way I thought as a leader. What was going to better myself for my team, not just for me. Like, how was I going to make my team so much better? Because if I'm running, they're holding my hands and I'm taking them with me. And that's what I wanted. I wanted them to be holding my hands, and we were going to run all together. And that's exactly what we did. Me and Liz FaceTime each other every day. And my husband is crazy about it because we FaceTime each other probably like 20 times a day. But you know, it's all about finding your accountability partner. It's finding somebody on your team. We did something, I think it's the coach and me, and it's the sergeant and Liz. We created accountability partners. And I told her, I do this with my girls that I coach in high school. We tell them every week, you need to switch with somebody different. You need to motivate somebody. You need to learn something new about somebody on your team. And that's what we did. We created accountability partners, whether they were in your downline or not, or if they're in your other leg, we made accountability partners, and you were going to push each other. And that's what we did. We started doing self-development. We started doing devotional daily. Me and Liz had this conversation. She was like, you know, I'm kind of scared what people think if I pour into them about God. And I said, you know what? God is amazing. And God's going to provide so many blessings to us. And when you continue to push that and let everybody know that God is amazing, tons of blessings are going to happen. And that's exactly what we did. Mark talked about 21 days of no negativity, no bad nothing. And that's what we did. We told our team, we're not going to see anything negative from you guys. If we see anything negative from you guys, we're going to call you out. I go, because nobody's going to want to buy from you if you're posting negative stuff. If you're calling somebody out and posting screenshots on your Facebook, people are like, oh, I don't want to buy from her. Look what she's doing. You know, people are looking at you. People are watching. What we are teaching our team is be relatable. Be relatable. The other day I had a complete mental breakdown, and I think everybody has in this whole quarantine has had a mental breakdown. And I was so real and I was so raw, and I posted how I had my mental breakdown. My daughter was there for me, and it was like so many people were like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Like, you post like you're so perfect and this and this. And I'm like, I am not perfect. Like, we could all change. There is something that we could improve and better ourselves. And that was one thing I took out of the situation. I told my team, I am having a mental breakdown. I'm going to go zen myself, and I'm going to come back 10 times as a better leader for you guys. And that's what we did. I zen myself. We came back and we compared numbers from last year, from 2019. I barely made double diamond. I think it was like 15,051. Like that's like it's 15,000 you need for double diamond. So when we at the end of the month, our volume was 20,000 as a double diamond. We had over 220 LC enrollments, and that's not including distributors that we enrolled. And I have to admit, one thing that gave me the push was the diamond and above Zoom that we were on. I'm telling you guys, if you're not a diamond, you need to be a diamond. You guys need to be on that Zoom, because that is the best thing. It was like, boop, like light bulb for me. I called Liz right away and I said, okay, I'm gonna quit being lazy and I'll do host to post. I'm gonna admit it. Me and host to post are a love and hate relationship. And I was like, I need to quit being lazy. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I told Liz, you know what? Instead of us FaceTiming each other and pushing each other, we're gonna just drop a link. Hey team, we're working. You wanna work with us? You wanna run with us? You wanna learn how we are master enrollers? You're gonna jump on and just work with us. Whether you're just hanging out, just chit-chatting, whatever it is. And girls were jumping on. They were jumping on. They're like, we got an LC. We got an LC. How do we do this? And how do we do that? It's just, you pour into your team. And I think that's one thing I told you, Stephanie, is whether it's just the first step of making an executive, executives make rubies, rubies make emeralds, emeralds make diamonds. And if you constantly teach your team to promote, you could do this, you got this, then that's what's going to help you promote us yourself. Is we're not focusing on us, we're focusing on our team. And that's one thing we wanted to, is focus on our team. I'm not worried if I told Liz, I'm not worried if I don't get double diamond back. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about my team. I'm worried about showing them that this does work, that they can do this. And then that's what we focus more on doing that.
So with that though, you just said you're being, I mean, I think this was what it comes down to, guys. We have a choice. You can be lazy and think that you're working, or decide and really get the host to post up. And I know that I created a smaller little group of people just to do some host to post and get them up. And you're going to find your rhythm, you're going to get it, but don't get stuck into not doing the 10, because if you don't, you're not going to have those to go back on, because you're going to have days of being busy, and you're going to have days of you get 10 up that you may not have a lot of interaction with. So you're like, dang, I need to get more up because I don't have the interaction. So you decided, did you track this? So when you did the host to post after the diamond training, give us what since a lot of people aren't diamonds yet, give us that tip that made you just go, why the heck am I not being the mass enroller? So what was that for you?
For me, I have to find a solution to the problem. You know, there's always a solution to the problem. So for me, I had to okay, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing? Why are people not enrolling? And I think it was, one was, you got to break the algorithm. Two, creating interaction. That I think I've mastered that, because I can't even keep up with the comments that are coming in.
So slow down. So you guys writing this down? 1, you got to break the algorithm. 2, you got to have interaction. Okay, keep going.
Interaction is big, because interactions is what's going to create people to view your stuff. I've already hit my max 5,000 on Facebook, so I had to go clean clean out my friends list in order to be able to do host to post. And I told Liz, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to clean out my friends list. I'm going to give it all. And I gave it my all, and it's been with, I think, what are we? I forget what date it is.
Fourth.
The fourth. And you know,
and I know what day it is over here. It's Star Wars Day. I have somebody that loves it.
And it's just us wanting to do the host to post. So I did that, and I posted the giveaway, and I'm just like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? Because I have 200 comments on that giveaway. And I'm just like, numbers. That's like 2,000 host to post right there. So I'm like, okay, I'm diving in. We got this. But it's like, everybody could have that as well. You got to build your friends list. You have to get out the comfort zone.
I'm going to slow you down on just a couple of these, because I'm going to dig some out of you, because I'm really good at this. So I'm seeing questions, and So you said break the algorithm. So give us a couple tips that you did to break your algorithm.
Okay, one is like the common thing everybody says to do. Happy birthdays, stories. Go through your stories. Roughly go about through 30 stories on your Instagram and Facebook. Drop some hearts or some smiley face. Oh my God, that's so cute. Oh my God, your baby's so cute. Even though the baby's not cute, you want to tell them the baby's cute. Uh, it's just liking people's posts, commenting on people's stuff, just simple stuff like that. Because once you create that, guess what? If you're on people's stories, you're now dropping messages in their messenger. And so now, because you're creating that, now they're going to see your posts. And now that's the first thing they're going to see the minute it pops up. I had a distributor once that says, I'm constantly seeing your posts. I'm constantly seeing your posts. I'm constantly seeing your story. And it was I had sold something on Facebook and she bought it and I friended her and she always saw my posts, always. And she's like, you know what? I see your story. So I'm going to take that as a sign. I'm going to join your team. I'm like, okay, let's do it then. And it's just like the simplest stuff. It's the most easiest stuff out there. It's like, hello.
Yep. I caught that. Where you could start is making sure, and you guys have heard me this for a long time, is saying happy birthday to people and even going into their inbox and saying it. Something that I want to challenge you guys to do, instead of just liking, this is the best thing, is instead of clicking like, go comment instead. And what a difference that will start to make in people interacting with you and starting to see your stuff. So it's hard. You're going to catch yourself going through and just liking instead of commenting, but you want to comment. So those are some great tips, because we don't recognize it all the time, but not always just it works, and making sure that your page is cleaned up and can they see what you do, but with a good mix. Okay, so now you've got your host to post. I want to, we gave them some of your tips that I know that you do. So because we got to get Liz on here too, and I want to try to get this as good as we can without missing stuff. But you're gonna give a host to post. Which one would you say got you the most interaction from host to post?
It's going to be my friend Eileen is looking for 10 product testers to take 2 pills a day and lose up to 30 pounds. I actually did a trial run the other day. I did a skinny coffee one. I had people post 10 skinny coffees to see what it would give me. It's just something about posting that 2 pills a day makes it so easy that people will take. They commented more. I was giving more things about that. So when I was writing people, it was just so simple. I was just, oh my God, our TFX is a thermogenic pill that helps you do X, Y, and Z. And it's a
no,
simple.
not X, Y, and Z. Tell me what you say.
Okay, let me pull it up real quick.
Because that, you guys, that can be used over and over. Okay, the ones that you're sending, what the product does, you can copy and paste that in the inbox. What you don't want to do is copy and paste the same thing on everybody's wall. That's where Facebook will block you. They'll be like, no more commenting. So if you're like, I love TFX, you're going to want to change out some of these words, emojis, using different font. But what she's going to say on what the Thermophyte does and how to get the customer, that's the important part that we need.
Okay, so I always start with, hey there. You can always switch it up and make it very personal to their name. But I say, hey there, so our Thermophyte XS is a thermogenic weight loss pill. It helps boost metabolism, activate thermogenesis, accelerate ketosis, boosts energy, and helps support blood pressure levels, reduces your sugars, and melts away your fat. Are you interested? Always in with a question. I always get people to say yes, okay? And then I jump right in. I say, yay, it's only $39 for a bottle with a 30-day supply. I'm placing an order right now. Do you want me to walk you through it or place an order for you? Let me know. And then they always say, okay, well, just walk me through it, yada, yada, yada. So then I give them my website and I tell them, let me know when you're on there. I'm going to make it super easy and fast for you. Trust me, it's super fast. And they said, okay. So when they get on there, they say, I'm there. And as they're there, I tell them, okay, you're going to click shop now, which is the first thing that pops up, which is the pick 2. I'm gonna say, shop now. Okay, now, and then I send them a voice text. Okay, you have an option to buy this Thermifide X for $39, or how about you want to save $20 and add another product to your cart? And they're like, well, what else do you recommend? Oh my God, I love the Skinny Brew. I love the cleanse. What do you like? Do you love coffee? Do you love chai tea? I just get personal. I just ask them questions because I want them to engage with me. And so that's how we're ping-ponging conversations. And people are like, oh my God, I love coffee. I drink it. Oh my God, the Skinny Brews, it's for you. You're going to love it. And it's going to help you melt that fat away, suppresses your appetite. Just throw a little bit of simple facts in there. And it's like, oh my God, yes, I need to lose up to 30 pounds because this quarantine is driving me crazy. Boom, LC with the pick 2, done.
So guys, we don't overthink this. Give them the information and they can look at the compute at the cart, however you're doing it. I saw this. Do you have them tag you in your host to post or no?
Yes, I have them tag me. I don't have them post a before picture on the post. I have them just post that if they can, try to squeeze the cute background color to it, and then to make sure to tag me. I said the only way I could see it and for you to get your entry is for them to tag me. And of course, once they say, okay, tag you, I'm like, yeah, you're entered. By any chance, are you interested in joining this business or earning a little bit extra money? I'll tell you exactly what I say because I keep everything in my notes, in my 600 notes. If you don't have more than 500 notes saved in your It Works folder, that's a big no-no, I'm telling you. I say, yay, thank you. You are entered. Are you by any chance looking to make an extra income right now? And I have people say, no, thank you, not right now. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Thank you for supporting. I truly appreciate you. Thank you for posting. I'll take over from here. And I just had a girl just tell me right now, no, thank you, I'm not interested. I'm like, okay, no problem. Thank you for supporting. I truly appreciate you for posting. She's like, well, now I'm kind of curious. What do you do? So I was like, oh, I'm a brand influencer for It Works. Have you heard about them? And she's like, no. So then that's how you ping pong conversation. I tried to tell my team, do not give 2 paragraphs out. It's unnecessary. Have them ask you questions, give a little bit of details. That way they ask you information. And then that's how you create a conversation with somebody. Get personal with them.
Yep, that's perfect. I think you guys, once you have their information or they're a customer, don't forget to go back to them. And you've heard this, get them to do a host to post, or like she said, like for me, I try and get their information just because right before I enter them, I'm like, you know what? Have you ever thought about making extra money? You're going to get great results. We can always go ahead and get you started and add these couple products to your business kit. So we can always do that, or we can just get started with your kit and go for 6 customers and get 150 in free product. You know, so same thing, no pressure, but if you don't ask, they don't know. They really don't know. So that's a key thing.
And the worst thing to say is no. And that's one thing been telling our team is you don't ask you don't know unless you ask. Like the worst thing people can say, oh no, not right now. Like there's no harm in asking. You don't know unless you ask.
So what do you think, just the difference of you being consistent with doing host to post and committing made the difference for you?
So from being lazy, I'm going to be real honest and real with you guys. From being lazy in January, I signed 5 LCs in January because I was being lazy. I didn't want to do host to post. I was like, whatever I'm doing is working. Clearly it wasn't working. I signed 5 LCs. That's a big no-no. Okay. And in February, I said, you know what, Eileen, you're so dumb. I don't know why you're not host to posting. And I still psyched myself out in February. And I said, you know what, I'm going to do better. I signed 15 LCs. Okay. March came and I was like, no, that's still not okay. I still need to do better. I need to do better. So then I set my goal for 30 LCs. I signed 20 LCs. I'm like, no, that's still not okay. So then April came and I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going for 40 LCs. I need to better myself. I need to do better. If I'm going to do better, then my team's going to do better. They're going to see that I'm mass enrolling. They're going to want to be mass enrollers. I think Mark or Cami Pentecost, I don't know, somebody amazing said this, said the pace of the leader is the pace of the team. And that has always stuck with me. And I tell Liz that every morning. Remember, pace of the leader is the pace of the team. So if we're running, our team's going to run with us. They're going to want the same fire that we have, the same energy that we have. And we're always about, like, I'm a big reggae person, so we always talk about good vibes and all that stuff. So we're always telling our team, good vibes only, no bad energy. We need, so that's one thing that we're always preaching to them. So April came, and I said, I'm going to enroll 40 LCs. So I was at, I think, 20 LCs by the last week of April. And that Zoom, the Diamond and Above Zoom came on, and it was hearing all those top leaders talk about them enrolling 100 LCs off a host to post. I'm like, no, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Whatever. And I told us, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna quit being lazy. I'm gonna do it. Laura McKenna jumped on one of our Power Hour Zooms, our first Power Hour Zoom on the last week. And I said, all right, here's to my first host to post. And she's like, wait, what? I'm like, no, I'm kidding. I'm just gonna not be lazy anymore and just finally do it. She's like, oh, okay. So I did it, and I think I rolled within the 3 days 15 LCs. I was at like 35 LCs by the end of the month. But I was like, if I wasn't so lazy and I did it from the beginning of the month, and I only rolled 15 LCs these last 3 days, just imagine if I did that every day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing that I've been consistent since May 1st. I said I'm gonna be consistent when host to post. I'm at 6 LCs today, possibly two potential distributors, but overall I have 11 LCs, and it's only day 4. So I call imagine if I just consistent with this. Is like, quit being lazy, just do it. And that's one thing that we're teaching our team. Host to post is working, guys. Host to post is working. I signed a girl from Indiana. I'm in Bakersfield, California, a small city. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you just gotta post.
So some of the questions that they hear is the magic number that we're doing is getting 10 up. But how many did you commit to getting up a day?
I'm an overachiever. I won't admit it. I like to one up people, and my team will tell you to. I'll be like, hey, I signed 5 LCs. Where are you guys at? Are you guys signing 5 LCs? I like to do roughly, I don't know, you challenge me to 10 a day. So roughly 15 a day.
That's okay. So make sure you're tracking it. She's saying roughly. So I want to know, she's going to get better. I know, and she's going to know exactly that number. But here's the thing is, if you did 10 and they got up, don't stop. If you feel like you're not getting the LCs, you can do more. You just don't want to shoot them all out in one time. And that's kind of the thing. But the key with this, guys, is being consistent and not being lazy. And that's something that is the biggest thing. Is you may think that you're working and you're not. You're doing just scrolling and looking at things and stories and doing all of those things, rather than just getting those up and then going back to still posting on your wall, still doing that stuff as filler while you got everything else out. And I think that's probably the key. So if you could give us one last, like, this is a must, like what you're doing with your team, what is that?
A must, especially for leaders that are on here, I say is taking the me out of the situation and focus on your team. If you focus on your team and you pour into your team, that's where you're going to start seeing results. If you're more encouraging, more supportive, more leading by example, I guess you could say, then you're going to start seeing results. And that was one thing for us, is we needed to start leading by example. If we want our team to succeed, then we need to pour in more as a leader. Self-development really helped us. And that's where we saw numbers turn around for us. It was like we needed to change ourselves in order to better our team.
Yep. And you can start anytime, guys. So right now you can be a better person. You can't, the past is the past. And today, tomorrow's a new day. Take that and don't beat yourself up, and just know that you're going to be able to do better. And here's something too, guys. If you don't have a team, if you're like, I just don't have anybody yet, you be the best version of you until you find that person that's going to do it with you, and do not let them slow you down. That's the thing that we sometimes get caught up into is, well, I signed a distributor there, but they're not doing these things. You still have to show up every day, do those 10 hosted posts, do those things, because what we find happens is people, you start attracting all kinds of people. It's the weirdest thing, and it's people sense that. And so that's what I want for you guys, is to be the person that you want. If you want to be that person that's enrolling 40, 50, 100 plus loyal customers, and you are a team of one, you can do that. And we've seen people come in and decide and do, sign 50 loyal customers as a new distributor. So you don't need to have a team to make that decision or have accountability. Use the team page as go. Who doesn't have a buddy yet and really wants to be accountability partners? There's plenty of people that want that. There's no excuses to go, well, I don't have a team, I don't have accountability. We just need to ask and pair things up. I'm getting a bunch of stuff over here, but before I'll go scroll through these, but I really want to get Lizzie on too, because she's had some great breakthroughs as well. But thank you, Eileen, for jumping on and me pulling out some of that goodness. I just appreciate that. The fire that's been lit for your team it's contagious. You guys, when that spark starts, don't let it burn out. It is just going throughout their team, and it's exciting to see. So Liz, come on, say where you're at. You've been in for a while, but you had a little bit of a bump in the road too, I guess, but your mindset, what you've done is unbelievable. I'm just so proud.
So, hey guys, I'm Lizzie. I am out here in Maryland. So I just got here. I was in San Diego. That's when I signed up with Stephanie back in 2018, right before I got married. I lived in San Diego, so she paired Eileen and I up. So for all the new distributors and you don't know your upline, that's okay. I reached out to all kinds of people and was like, are you my upline? And they were like, no. I was like, oh, okay. And then I would continue moving forward. But what ended up being something for me is I didn't know Eileen at all. And I was thankful that I could have someone to talk to other than, because guys, if you're being signed up by Stephanie and Joel, they're busy. They're super busy. And so that's why we get paired up with people. So Eileen didn't enroll me, which was great because it ended up building up a friendship. I don't know, Stephanie, you're like the matchmaker in heaven when it comes to like getting people together. And we have taken that same role when we're doing our team. If we sign someone who they'll be good with, regardless of area, we do personalities and like who we think would do well. So it's all about pairing up with someone. So Eileen and I, we went to conference back in 2019. I hit Diamond. I got one good bonus check and then it dropped because I doubted myself. I completely doubted myself. I would tell Stephanie, I would tell Laura, I would tell Eileen, I'm never going to hit double diamond. I've been in this business before. Diamond is easy. And y'all, that's when the charts were hard. They were like complex and I could hit diamond then. So I was like, oh, I can just do diamond. I'm one of those individuals. I've been in the military for, oh my God, almost 13 years. As long as Joel and Stephanie have been doing it works, I've been kind of in the military doing my own things. So I've always been comfortable with my paycheck because I'm very successful in motivating people and getting what I want done and also me producing at the same time. So it was easy for me to motivate people, but what ended up happening is life hit me and I ended up having to motivate myself. I would reach out and I would beat myself up. Oh, I didn't make it this time. Oh, I didn't do this. And I'm so thankful no one enabled me to feel sorry for myself. I remember when I lost my bonus, Stephanie did not enable me. She was like, okay, well, work harder. And then Eileen's like, girl, I lost mine too. We got to do something. And it was like, what are we going to do? So that's the other part, is being real with your team. Yeah, we lost our bonuses, but you know what? That's okay. We're not working to get our bonuses back. We're working to get you a bonus. We started changing our mindset and the way we said things. I started doing a Start Your Day Right devotions by Joyce Meyer. So if you need some sort of daily devotions, that's a great one. I read one today to Eileen and she was like, oh my God, this is exactly what we need to like hear, because we were coming on to talk. And then my epiphany really happened two ways. And I told Eileen, oh my God, this is crazy. I told Eileen that I would end up being on a Zoom probably like a year from now, and I would be telling this story, but it ended up being like 2 weeks later after maybe a week ago, I told her. But I was like, so being transparent, y'all. I've always had this image that I needed to be perfect, and I don't look perfect. My bottom teeth are crooked, but I always felt like, oh my God, I got to be this perfect person in camera. I wouldn't go live because I didn't like how I looked because my teeth were crooked. Y'all, they're not even it's not even bad, but to me it's bad. So I beat myself up and I was like, I'm not going to go live. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. And so we can back up. I started doing TikTok videos, and I did them because I thought they were fun. And I didn't know how to do the business TikToks like everyone else because I'm not cool and I'm not tech savvy. So anyone that's not tech savvy, I'm your girl. I don't know how to do anything. I probably don't even say algorithm. I don't even know, like I mess it all up, and Eileen's always shaking her head. My phone, y'all, when I'm talking, will like fall over. My husband will be cussing at the video game while I'm trying to Zoom the team. And I'm like, just 1 second, guys. And I pause it. I'm just real. Like I am so real when it comes, and Eileen just shakes her head. And I mean, if you saw ours, if you're friends with us, you may have saw me with a bottle of wine during the end of the month because I didn't have time for a glass, but everybody else had White Claws and I wanted to be a part of the team. So I just took the bottle and cheers to everyone. But it's all about being yourself, right? And so what came to me started with TikTok. I had fun looking like a fool. I don't know if all of you know, I'm super white. Not just skin wise, I'm super white. Like I don't have rhythm, but I started dancing with my daughter. And she's all savvy with it. And Eileen and I are like, you got to teach us how to do this. And so I got out of my comfort zone that way because it wasn't really a Facebook Live. I didn't have to have this conversation to you. I just had to get in front of the camera. And I was like, well, I'm a mom and this is kind of fun embarrassing her because she's 15. So let's do it. So that's kind of where I started. So I saw some questions about how did you get your like volume going? That's what you guys were saying to Eileen. So Eileen did it one way and I did it another. If you're mimicking your accountability partner, then you're not going to get nowhere. You got to be you. And so what I did is I did these TikToks, these crazy TikToks, and I started getting random followers. I was still somewhat doing host to post, but I wasn't engaged like I should. And Stephanie, I texted you when I was like, oh my God, the epiphany happened. But I was kind of just playing around with it. I was like, I'm just going to do a host post here. I'm going to do this. Oh, I signed 6 customers and 2 distributors. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I filled this chart. Like, oh, I helped this person. But I really didn't push myself. And then I'm competitive too. So when Eileen pushes me, I want to beat her. So you put the right 2 people on. Eileen knows. She'll be like, she's already told me, I've already signed these customers. And I was like, I'm just building
I told her this morning, I signed 6 LCs. Where are you? Where are you? You need to step it up today.
And I told her, I was like, I don't know what's happened to my host to post. I have that dead day like everyone else has. I have the dead day. And so I was like, what the heck can I do to get that going? And so we'll get to that in a minute because y'all, I will do some things to make you laugh, but also I'm having a really good time while I'm doing it. So what I did is I just showed my true self. I did a walk it out dance. It went kind of viral in TikTok. Y'all, I don't do TikTok with It Works because I don't know what to do. And that's okay. Just be you. And so what I did was I was like, Mariah, I'm going to post this on Facebook because I don't even know how to tell my friends to follow me on Facebook and to this tick. And she's like, oh my God, Mom. And I was like, I just don't know. So I put it on there and then I saw it blow up. And then I'm in the military, so you got to use your platform. I used my platform because I have a lot of friends in San Diego that are a part of the ship that was in Guam that got quarantined due to the COVID-19. And so there was a chick, and I had no clue who she was. I just added her as I was going through adding people. And this is what I'm going to say is you never know who's watching you. You never know who's watching you. So if you show up every day, and I was showing up, y'all, but I wasn't really showing up. I wasn't being fun. I wasn't being myself. I was trying to be picture perfect. And I was doing self-development. So I was doing all this at the same time. TikTok, self-development. I was working on myself. But during all of that, y'all, life hit me and my husband separated. He went back to San Diego. I had a whole terrible mess happen. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be single, at least I'm not going to be broke. And I was like, this is my time to go in full throttle. And I told Eileen, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready, but I don't know if I'm really ready, but I'm going to talk to you. And she was like, okay. And I was signing customers, but it wasn't, like Eileen said, it wasn't enough. We weren't hitting the numbers that we felt like we were deserving of for our team, because we didn't keep the volume underneath us. We were moving it to our team. And so for us, it became where I was like, you know what, I need to work on me, and I'm going to put God first in everything. I said, I'm literally going to put God first. I'm going to put God first in my marriage. I'm going to put God first on our team. I'm going to pray for our team every day. I'm going to pray for you. I was like, and we're going to figure this out. And you know, guys, the first go around, I didn't have an accountability partner, and I didn't have a friend that prayed for me and FaceTime me as much as Eileen does. And she misses me because I'm not on the West Coast anymore. And I tell her not to call me when it's when she's like at midnight and it's 3 a.m. my time. But hey, we do these accountability things. And what ended up happening was we were traveling together, guys. We did green carpet, we've done conferences. Like, we show up, we went to Asheville, we were showing up, and that kept us hungry, but it didn't keep us enough. It didn't do it. And so one of the things that changed it was Joel and Stephanie had sent a book out, and I read it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start reading more. And I started following Joel because he's just so positive. He's always posting something about goodness and God. And I was like, you know what, I need to just change it, because I don't want to be single, I don't want to be broke, and I don't want to be a sad story saying I wish I could, I would have. So I started putting God first, and everything worked out. My marriage is healthy, my husband's here, my relationship with my daughter's thriving through TikTok. Who would have known I could have made a relationship with a teenager through TikTok as much as I have? And I started doing the self-development, and then that changed me as the leader. And then I got on that Zoom, and I sat in that Zoom, and I was they were like, drop the numbers of how many people you're signing a month. And I was like, what the heck? And I started texting Eileen. I said, do you see this? 91, 77. And I'm like dropping it in. I'm like, oh my God. And I just put like 5 or 6, and that was it. Like, I didn't have a big number, maybe I have 15. I don't know what I had. It wasn't big like that. And I was like, I want 50. Like, I want 50, I want 60, I want to do it. And you guys, I'm a numbers person. I am total red, but you got to turn the red off when it comes to your team. You got to only be red with you. You got to hold yourself accountable. And what I did was I started motivating my team. I started writing out the numbers, and I was showing them their charts. And I'm like, girl, you're 800 away from Ruby. If you get this much every single day, you're going to be Ruby. And that's how we started having Rubies pop. They were hitting executive and Ruby in the same month, because I started doing numbers. I started looking at it, and I was like, what the heck can we do to make this happen? Because guys, I doubted it. When this virus came, I text Eileen, and I said, I don't think I'm going to be able to be in this business, because I had 2 customers tell me they couldn't do their loyal customer agreement, and it discouraged me. So I know the discouragement. I know what it feels like to have life hit you. I know what it feels like to be in a new area and not know anyone, because that's me right now. I'm definitely I'm in Maryland, never been here, and then everything shut down. I just wanted to go to the movies, and I can't, like you get these things. So for me, it was self-development. It was listening to the Zooms, getting on the Zooms and showing up on the Zooms. It was accountability with Eileen completely. You guys, we don't change the wheel. We don't reinvent the wheel. Joel and Stephanie, everyone, all the top leaders, all these host to posts have been there on the legendary page, and you can search it. And so that's what we were doing anyways. And that's how we were figuring it out. We were definitely not trying to reinvent it. We used the same scripts. Y'all, I finally got an iPhone so I could FaceTime Eileen all the time. And so I had to I'm rebuilding my whole notes section, and I make it on everybody's nerves. But I even go to the distributor and say, hey, what's that script? Because if you make people feel important, if you really start in deep and you start asking someone for something like, hey, what's that question? What's that script? And they're like, oh my God, you are asking me for the script? Heck yeah, I am, because you're a boss, babe. Come on, tell me the script. And as soon as you tell them, they start doing that, they find the confidence. And I'm not going to name the distributor on my team, but I have this girl who life hit her completely. and we had to revamp her. Y'all, whatever you do, it takes about 3 to 4 months to revamp sometimes. And we got her going. We told her she had to stop the screenshots. We told her she had to stop doing this negative posting, and she started listening and she started showing up. And then after that, she became our master enroller 2 months straight. It was like an epiphany. When you start speaking life, you don't have to ask them to help you hit triple and presidential and ambassador or diamond or ruby or whatever it is. You don't have to. When you hug the rice bowl, when you do this to yourself, you're limiting yourself, your team. You got to speak life into them daily. So I get on there and I start talking to people and I start motivating them, and I pray. I personally pray for everyone on our team. And this has been my prayer. And for anyone that's religious, if you believe in putting God first, this is it. God, you know their hearts. You know what's going on with each person, and whatever it is, you know what they cry about at night. You know what everything is. You know, like Eileen said, she was crying at work. I don't see those things, God, and I don't want to see those things. But use me and show me how to help them be a better leader, how to bring in money. And that was our prayer. That was what me and Eileen did. We took all negative out. And we had the negative distributors that was all in April 1st. And by April 15th, we would help them feel their legs and they were gone. And we didn't even let it, they're naysayers. And so what the other epiphany for me was I was listening to Joel Osteen, and I want all of you, oh my gosh, sorry, my phone seems like it wants to die. Am I there? Okay, boo. So the one thing I want all of you to listen to when you're in your car, it's about an hour long, and it's Joel Osteen. You can do it on YouTube, and it's called Build Your Dream Business. And I told Eileen about it. I had her listen to just a snippet of it beforehand. And it pretty much, the one thing that came out to me, and if you write it down and you start showing up and you write down your goals daily, like right now, I know I need 58 loyal customers, 25 DTs for me to fill out my triple diamond chart. As they're talking about double diamond, I'm looking bigger into triple diamond. And then I know my goal this month is 60 customers, and I've hit 2 so far. And I beat myself up. I told Eileen earlier, I was like, I don't know. I only signed a distributor and 2 customers, but that's huge. Celebrate every small victory because there's more to come. But the one thing that really resonated with me when I was doing self-development, and this is what I started speaking into my team, this is more for my leaders and even distributors. Even if you don't have a team, start saying you're a diamond. I say that to my team all the time. If you want to be a diamond, you're a diamond. What you have to start believing it now. You start to have to speak it into existence. You have to start going there with it. And once you start doing that, everything else is in place. Joel and Stephanie are not greedy. They have everything in place for you to be successful. You just got to do the work. You got to be the worker, and you got to show up daily. And so what ended up being my thing was, if you were an average person, you would have average problems. But you're here, and the key, and pretty much what it is that big dreams equals big challenges. And so you got to be able to defeat those challenges. And I was my own challenge. So I took myself out of the equation, and I started speaking life into people and myself, and that worked. But I want to give you guys a tip on how to work algorithm, because I don't know what I'm doing. I have zero clue about anything that starts with a computer or technology. And Eileen helped me a lot learn it, and it was interacting. I thought doing the like button was enough, and it wasn't. And what it ended up being for me literally was I did a TikTok, and this girl messaged me and goes, "Oh my God, you've just made my day." And I was like, I did a stupid dance. It was stupid to me, but it wasn't stupid to that person. And what I didn't know was, and I was telling Eileen, because this is where my epiphany happened. I got this big, huge order, Stephanie. It was so large. It was 3 a.m. I was still trying to get this girl's order in because she was in Guam. And she told me that she asked me what I did. And guys, if you're not a product of the product, you gotta be, because people are gonna really come to you asking you what you do and what do you use. And so I told her what I used, and she's like, okay, well, I'm doing keto. All this stuff is keto. And this girl bought this large order. And the reason why she bought it was because she told me she liked just my attitude, my positivity, my TikTok videos. If you haven't seen them, I can share them with y'all. Just message me. They're great. But the point is that they're terrible. But this girl liked it, and she was watching me so much that she had 177 BV. And that was it for me. I told Eileen, I was like, I'm hooked. She was like, how did you meet her? I was like, I have no clue. Could have been a host to post. It could have been from anything. Eileen gets really good, strong hits off of stories. I get it off of people just commenting on my page. Because I started being real and I started being transparent. I even went live this morning and talked about just a mental check. And, are you okay? Are you happy? And I see a lot of people doing it because it's important right now. And being transparent and being that, and what I do know in the military is that if you're transparent and you take you out of it and you stop being this selfish person about you, when am I going to make rank? You should take that out of your verbiage, and you should start saying, when is my team going to make rank? And once you start making rubies turn into diamonds. And it's nothing it's not even a surprise. We all know this if you've been doing this business for a while. Rubies make diamonds. And once you get someone to executive, you better be celebrating them, because dude, usually they're probably like 400 to 600 in volume away from Ruby because they've been working their butts off. So we celebrate everything. We celebrate customers, distributors, y'all, we celebrate it all. I don't care who you are. But the one thing I do know is that we are drill sergeants. So let's not act like we're just these perfect people. Eileen, at the end of the month, we had one chick who was literally 8 BV away from Ruby, and it killed me because I wanted her to just sign a Fat Fighters or some. I was like, and she would try to talk to us in the Zoom, and I was like, until you sign this customer, no one's talking to you. Like, no one's talking to you.
Oh, we have to be real. We have to be real. We were doing a power hours. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Liz, but we were doing. Okay, we call them power hours, but literally they turn into power days because our power days are going into like 6 to 7 hours throughout the day. But hey, that's what helped us get our volumes up, and we were having fun. We were having fun in the Zoom. We were hanging out, and we were talking about how, we ordered Uber Eats. Child, can you go get it? And she's jumping on the Zoom, and she's like, oh, I'm like, no, mute. Did you sign that little LC? Mute. When you can talk, when you sign that LC. And she was only 8 BB away. Okay, sorry, let's go ahead.
But when she signed it, once they realized they can do it, and I'm gonna speak another one, is that we had one distributor, the poor girl, every person above her quit. Like, she's like 7th in our leg, like for me. So she's probably like 9th or 10th in Eileen's. And she was showing up. She was getting on the Zooms and she was trying to figure it out. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to help you. So I started just pouring into her. Y'all, she is signing customers left and right. Like, she started the month off signing customers. She's still signing customers. When you start speaking life into these people that you don't even know, but you make them your best friend, but you also got to love them with some tough love sometimes. And you got to say, hey, you know what? You just got to do it. Once you start doing those things, it just goes. And also, for everybody that's looking left or right, I'm going to tell you something that I've learned in the military. When you look left or right, you're never going to get nowhere. If you're looking at what I'm doing or you're looking at what Eileen's doing, unless you're trying to learn from somebody, if you're comparing, you're never going to get nowhere. And we would compare, oh, such and such. And we stopped talking about, and it wasn't like we were hating or jealous. We were just like, why aren't we doing it? Well, we weren't doing it because we weren't working. We were like, oh, poor us. And we were like pity partying each other. And we stopped doing the pity parties, and we were like, nope. And this is what we're going to do. And this is how we're going to do it. And we set ourselves accountable. When Eileen signs about 8 or 9, see, Jennifer just said it, we're tough on her. She's the one that didn't sign the 8 BB. She just told on herself. But what it is you got to have tough love. You got to have a healthy balance. You got to have fun. You got to speak life. You got to use the scripts that Stephanie gives you. I mean, it's all right there. There's no magic to this. If you do small conversations with people, sometimes it takes me 2 months to sign customers. Sometimes it took me a whole year for one of the girls that's going to go diamond this month, took me like a whole year to sign her. You have to make time. I believe in grace. I believe that you never sign nobody off, no matter what they look like, where they're from, I am big on it. If you work with someone, you can make them into some successful stories. It's just, how bad do you want to help others? And, once you start helping others, it just changes the whole dynamic. When you take I out of it, it changes the whole dynamic. When you do self-development, it changes the whole dynamic. When you use the scripts that Joel and Stephanie and Laura and anyone provides and other top leaders provide, when you start using these tools, you don't have to really overthink it. And we had a girl that would screenshot everything into the group. And you're talking about tough love. I'm going to tell you what, there's only 5 times that I'm going to help you. And after about the 5th time, that's it. And the only reason I'm doing 5 is because it's not the military. And if we were in the military, it'd be 1 time. I'll show you and then I'm done. But because I don't expect people to have the same training, you can't take what you do on the outside and bring it into It Works. You just got to take pieces and parts of it. But we stopped helping them. Once they hit Ruby, we stopped giving them all the answers and we're like, go look for it. Go figure it out. You're confident. You're graceful. You know this. You can do this. And once you start saying that to your team, once you start saying it to yourself, it was me saying it to myself and Eileen saying it to me, you're worthy. You can hit double diamond. You can hit triple diamond. You deserve this. And once you start writing that down and you start putting sticky notes all over your walls or whiteboards, y'all, I have a whiteboard. I'm surprised it ain't fell down yet because it falls every night. Me and Eileen are on FaceTime and scares the mess out of me. But this whiteboard has everything that I have. And Eileen could even show you that right beside her on her wall is a triple diamond chart. And we chart everyone. It's so important every single day. Like we make sure that we have everything to a T. But it also starts with boundaries. And that's what I learned is that I did boundaries with myself. I did boundaries and I got on a schedule. It was one of those diamond Zooms where they said, you don't have to do these host to post all day long. You can go enjoy your family. But the last 4 days, how we tripled volume, as you said, Stephanie, was we worked our butts off because we wanted to hit a goal. Like we had set that goal and we decided we were going to go after it. And we were signing customers at midnight and going into the 1st of May because we had followed up. And that was the other thing. We followed up and Eileen can drop the script in. It is a simple script. If you go back all the way to 2019 and you start like September, August, and you're needing some volume, team, all you got to do is send this script and people will start to be like, oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't message you back, but I read your post and I've commented 20,000 times on everything. But oh, I forgot to sit there and order from you. They're seeing you, but if you're expecting them to come to you, it rarely happens. You have to ask them. And how I got that 177 in BV was I asked her, hey, I saw you liked my post. Would you like some info about weight loss? And that's exactly how quickly we were able to start that, just having the conversations. And one tip for everyone is I end the conversation with a question because I want you to continue to answer me. It's just like if you're sitting there talking to someone and you're worried about them, you would ask a question. Once you stop looking at them as customers and you look at them as a friend and you start caring about them, they will start tagging you in their posts and showing up your It Works products on their IGs and everything else. Like I just had a girl message me today and say, hey girl, what's your Instagram? I want to tag you in the post so if someone sees it, they'll buy it too. And so once you start doing those things, it definitely makes it easier. But it's all about taking I out and just, I don't know, that self-development is huge. I don't know any other way to express it. It's so huge and it's mind-blowing.
I'm gonna cut you off because we're getting right down to an hour and I was like 30 minutes, guys, be a drill sergeant. But it was good. It was so good. So here they gave you some of the scripts and the follow-up. So I love that. But if you guys can get what they were saying, if I could just put this in a quick 5-tip thing, is mindset. You got to get your mind right. Do you know your goal? Do you have that written down for the month of April? And commit to getting those 10 hosts to post up. Maybe it's 5 that you start with, but the majority of it is getting 10 up. If you got the 10 up, go for more. That's not a stop. We want you to have that success. And sometimes it's getting that rhythm going. Using that back and forth script of what we have, and we have those in some of our team pages. Most of you are probably in the team pages that you'll see that. You can search things in team pages. Like these girls said, nobody shared anything with me. I've always had to go research, listen to Zooms, do calls, and I was going to figure it out, and I was going to find the way, and I was going to do this with or without team. I was so determined to make it happen that I was going to. Of course, I want to help people, and it's more fun when you can help others and bring them along, and just, it's exciting when you see people step into that leader that they are, or that they're a completely different person. They're speaking positive. They're doing all the right things. So we want that, but you got to start with you. So get your mind right. Believe that you're going to. You're all, if you're not a diamond, I'm a diamond. I'm going for double. I'm going for triple. Speaking what you are, but using host to post and getting those scripts out. That's a huge like deal to do, to get those out, because we're seeing success with it. It's not just like do it. So I guess I could quote Eileen, stop being lazy and just do the work. Like, that's really, when you check yourself, it's kind of crazy, right? What we get done when we make a decision to get that out there. So get your trackers out. There's trackers in team pages. If not, get a notebook out, write down who you got, who did the 10 hosts to post up for you, follow back through. I love Eileen's, like, they tagged. Everybody's going to be different. Okay. So there's no real secret other than being consistent with it every day and getting the work done. So, Liz, what would be the last tip that you had that you think really got you those customers? Was it a certain host to post that you did, or was it truly just putting yourself out there?
I would say it was more putting myself out there and being transparent, having fun. But the host to post that does work, if you take the product, you're going to see it yourself, and you should have results within quickly. If you can sell Skinny Brew and TFX, and you don't, and the coffee post doesn't really hit much, but it will when you start using the 2 pills per day. Eileen and I use the same one, and then switching it up. And that's where I learned, and Stephanie, you said it really good, switching up your host to post will fix it where you can get comments. If you just copy paste, oh, I got them out, you're not going to get any customers. You're going to get locked down. Facebook was trying to shut me down right before the end of the month because I had so many messages coming in, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do here. But we still hit our goal. But I would say in general, just being you, having fun, host to post, tracking it. Tracking it is a game changer. If you don't track it, you are missing out on so many potential customers, so many distributors. I have about 25 potential distributors. Once this COVID thing stops and they go back to work, they want to just join because they love seeing the fun that we had on our Zoom. So it's just showing up and having fun for me. And the host to post, oh my God, that was it. I texted you, Stephanie. I was like, that's it. Once you track it, once you figure it out, once you just do it, it becomes something easy. And I work, guys. I still go to work. I'm still essential. I still do everything that I'm supposed to. I'm still a mom, and I still I don't give myself excuses. I just get those done. Even if it's in the middle of the night and I can't sleep, I start doing it because people are up. People are up all the time. So
no excuses, guys. We're not going to have any excuses this month. We are going to get it out there. You have your Connect app. If you don't, make sure you have the Connect app because they are giving us everything that we need. Joel is uploading into the page. So if you guys got on here, you probably see the uploading of the Zooms on training you on host to post. So really it's just keeping it that simple and knowing that you can do it. But I appreciate you guys so much. The fire has been lit. I think that excitement has just trickled down, and hopefully you guys can catch that you don't need to be perfect. We just got to decide, do the work, and show up every day, and then watch what happens with that. You're changing those new distributors to executives, to rubies, to emeralds, to diamonds. And then it gets kind of that obsessive, like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun helping people. So I love you guys. Yes, go make sure you give them some love. But let me do a quick picture because I usually forget, or maybe Joel got one, I don't know. But everybody smile. Everybody's like fixing their hair, putting the smile on. But all right, guys, have a good week, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.